Seeing her grandson's wrist get broken by Charlie, Mrs. Wilson, who had been calmly watching the scene play out, suddenly flew into a rage. She was so furious that she rushed forward, aiming a slap right at Charlie's face. But as her hand swung toward him, Charlie spun around and said coldly, "Old woman, you're asking for it." Then he slapped Mrs. Wilson across the face, sending her staggering back a few steps. In that instant, Charlie's eyes were ice cold, and his entire body radiated a murderous aura. The slap stung, and Mrs. Wilson shuddered involuntarily. She covered her face and backed away, terrified. She didn't dare to look at Charlie. She had never seen such terrifying eyes on him before. The Wilson family was completely stunned. What the hell? What in the world? How dare that loser actually hit Mrs. Wilson? But who was going to stand up for her now? The injured bodyguard was already on the ground, and the remaining ones just stood there, fear on their faces, not daring to make a move. Even though Mrs. Wilson wanted Charlie dead, she knew right then that she couldn't stop him. He had learned martial arts somewhere, and he was too powerful. Claire felt her own heart pounding. Her eyes were fixed on Charlie, a strange mix of emotions swirling inside her. She couldn't help but feel her cheeks grow warm. It was the first time she had ever seen this strong, commanding side of him. Before, Claire had always thought of Charlie as quiet and reserved, someone who was only good for buying groceries and cooking. Now, seeing that no one else dared to challenge him, Charlie raised his head. He shot a cold glare at the crowd and then yelled at the two bodyguards cowering nearby. "If you don't open that door right now, I'll break both your necks." The two terrified bodyguards scrambled to open the door. "Mom, we can't just let them go," Noah said angrily. Mrs. Wilson gritted her teeth, staring daggers at Charlie, and said bitterly, "Let them go." "Grandma, how can we just let them leave like this?" Harold yelled, his eyes burning with hatred. "He broke my hand! I'm going to kill him!" Mrs. Wilson reined in her anger and said coldly, "All of you, shut up!" Noah spat viciously. "Charlie, you hurt my son and broke the Wilson family rules. You're going to regret this," Mrs. Wilson said, emphasizing every word. "From this day forward, Jacob's family is hereby removed from the Wilson family. They are no longer my family." Jacob lifted his head, blood trickling down his face from a cut. He said numbly, "I don't care about being part of a family like this anyway." Claire nodded. "That's right. We're not upset about it." Mrs. Wilson gritted her teeth and snapped, "Claire, you are nothing but a drain on this family. From now on, you are also fired from the Wilson Group. The Wilson Group is partnering with the Grand Group, and we're going to be huge. And you ungrateful granddaughter, will have nothing to do with it. Now get out of here and stay as far away from us as you can." Claire said firmly, "I don't care anymore. Dad, Charlie, let's go." With that, Claire and Charlie helped Jacob up. They shot one last angry glare at the Wilson family, then turned and walked away. She walked out the door without a single ounce of regret. Today, she had seen their true colors. So-called family. They were worse than strangers. If it wasn't for her parents, she would have cut ties with the Wilson family a long time ago. Charlie's heart felt like ice. Mrs. Wilson, Noah, Harold, 3 generations of complete idiots. What makes them think they can still cooperate with the Grand Group? As Charlie drove away from the Wilsons' house, Jacob said angrily, "If I had known my mother and my brother's family were so cold-blooded, I never would have helped them." Claire sighed from the passenger seat. The way they act, even if the Wilson family had a huge business, they'd run it into the ground. Her mother, Elaine, said indignantly, "The worst part is how much we helped them. That contract from the Grand Group, we got that for them, and now they get to keep it all." Charlie said casually, "Mom, people who do wrong eventually pay for it. They won't end up well. The only thing the Wilson family had going for them was their partnership with the Grand Group. and they had no idea that the company actually belonged to him. After offending him, they still expected to make money from the Imgrand Group? They were dreaming. All it would take was one phone call to Doris and the Wilson family would be ruined. Jacob touched the dried blood on his head and muttered, "I can't believe the Wilson family is so ruthless. We didn't even get to spend one night in the villa that the White family gave us. They just had to steal it. Such bullies." Then, Jacob's eyes lit up. He turned to Charlie. "Hey, Charlie, take us to Thompson Villa. I can't stop thinking about that villa. I want to see it again." Claire said, "Dad, we're almost home. Why do you want to go there now? Isn't the villa still being renovated? Gavin is keeping an eye on it." Jacob insisted, "I just want to go take a look, or I won't be able to sleep tonight." Charlie completely understood Jacob's mindset. It was like someone who could never afford a car suddenly getting a top-of-the-line luxury vehicle. Even if they weren't driving it, they'd still want to go look at it in the parking lot. So he said to Claire, "If Dad wants to see it, let's go. We can even get some ideas for decorations. You can talk to Gavin York about them." Jacob smiled. "See? Charlie gets me." Claire sighed helplessly. "All right, fine. Let's go have a look." Charlie immediately made a U-turn at the traffic light and drove toward Thompson Crest. He parked the car in front of the Thompson Villa. As he got out, he frowned. The gate to the property was slightly ajar, and he could hear noises coming from inside. Seeing Charlie's silence, Claire asked, confused, "What's wrong?" Charlie said, "Something's not right. I'm going to go check it out." Charlie rushed ahead into the yard. The moment he stepped inside, he saw several bodyguards in black suits tossing furniture out of the villa. Jacob exclaimed, "Those are the Wilson family's men." A dark look crossed Charlie's face. The Wilsons just wouldn't quit. He hadn't even had a chance to go after them, and here they were showing up at his door. "Who let you in here?" Charlie demanded, rushing toward them. When the bodyguards saw Charlie, they looked panicked. Just then, Harold's raspy voice echoed from the main hall. "I let them in." Harold swaggered out, holding a crowbar in his left hand, his right hand wrapped in thick gauze. "Charlie, you piece of trash," Harold sneered. "Now that you've been kicked out of the Wilson family, this Thompson Villa belongs to us." "I'm here for the keys." Claire gritted her teeth and said, "You've gone too far. It wasn't enough to try and force Charlie to give up the villa, and now you're just trying to steal it?" Jacob added angrily. "Harold, this villa belongs to my son-in-law. No one can take it away." Harold spat on the ground and cursed. "Claire, who the hell do you think you are? You're just a stray we kicked to the curb. You have no right to talk to me." As he spoke, Harold hefted the crowbar again, pointing it at Jacob as he continued to curse. "And you, old man, you think you're still my uncle? Get lost before I break your leg." Charlie was furious. He asked coldly, "Where is Gavin?" Harold stepped forward and laughed. "You mean that old guy who was watching the place? I got rid of him. Had to teach him a lesson. So he'd know who the real owner of this villa is from now on." "You hit Gavin?" Charlie's eyes turned cold. Even though Gavin used to work for the White family, Charlie had put him in charge of this villa, which meant he worked for Charlie now. Besides, Gavin was an honest, loyal man who always treated him with respect. More importantly, he was over 60 years old. For Harold to attack an elderly man like that was just hateful. Why? He doesn't know his place. Sometimes you have to make an example out of someone so the people behind them understand who they're dealing with. I had to do it, to send a clear message to his so-called master. Ha 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 ha! After that, Harold laughed arrogantly, his face full of the sweet satisfaction of revenge. Charlie was so enraged that he punched him without a second thought. Harold couldn't dodge in time. Charlie's fist slammed into the bridge of his nose. Blood gushed out, and he screamed in pain. "Why are you just standing there? Get him! I want this loser dead!" Harold scrambled backward like a coward, shouting at the bodyguards. The bodyguards pulled long knives from their belts and charged viciously at Charlie. "Charlie, I know you can fight," Harold taunted, "but let's see how you handle this. Let's find out if your skin is tougher than a knife." Seeing this, the color drained from Claire and Jacob's faces. Charlie was a good fighter, but he was only human. He was up against the Wilson family's bodyguards, and they were armed with long knives. How could he possibly win? But Charlie didn't seem worried at all. His expression was cold, without the slightest change. "You think a pathetic crew like this can take my life?" With that, Charlie moved like a phantom, weaving between the Wilson family's bodyguards. Even with their long knives, they couldn't so much as graze his clothes. And Charlie, moving with a deadly grace, started his attack while effortlessly evading theirs. Every punch he threw seemed casual, but it cut through the air with a sharp crack, full of incredible force. These bodyguards were all retired special forces, and they were armed, but they were no match for Charlie. In the blink of an eye, he had knocked every single one of them to the ground. No one could even see how he'd done it. His movements were a complete blur, and one moment the bodyguards were charging, the next they were on the ground. Charlie was furious and showed them no mercy. He had deliberately attacked their limbs. Now every one of them lay in the yard with broken hands or feet, screaming in agony.
Hey amazing viewers, it's Charlie here. Thanks for sticking with us. By the time of the release of this video, only 11% of our viewers have joined the party by subscribing, and 89% of you might miss out on our next mind-blowing video. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and join the exclusive club.